Yo guys, what's happening and welcome back to another video, and in today's video what we're going to be talking about is how to make your videos more interesting. Now let's get right into this video. If you guys want to know what I use to create this content, the links to buy them are down below. If you guys want to help me reach my goal of 500 subscribers by the end of the year, hashtag drive to 500 and consider subscribing. But let's get right into this video. The first way to make your videos more interesting is adding B-roll. Now first let me tell you what B-roll is. B-roll is the sections in between your videos, or a section that you've created that is not you talking to the camera, because you talking to the camera is classed as A-roll. Basically it's the main thing. B-roll is a secondary thing that helps enhance A-roll. So B-roll enhances A-roll. But what I mean by that is, if you have created B-roll, what you can do is you can interlace it through your videos. For example, my last vlog, I interlaced it through that with a Harry Potter thing, the part at the start, and it basically just makes the video look more interesting because it's not just you talking to the camera straight for the whole however long your video is going to be. So first thing is B-roll. Number 2. The second thing that you can use to make your videos more interesting is some overlays. For example, the fire. This makes your videos look a little more stylized. I'm using them through these videos to show you these can make these videos look more interesting. So essentially these things, you get these things for free if you just look for them, and the one I used in this video for the fire and smoke and all that, I'll put the link to it down below. So overlays is a very good thing, and let's move on. Number 3. If you're doing some type of videos, it is very good to add movement to your videos. For example, in my last video, what I did was, when I was talking to you guys, I was not just straight talking to the camera and telling the whole story in the one place. I broke it up. And what I did was I went from here to where I was filming, and then when I was telling my story, I went from started at one location, told the first part of the story. Then I got up and moved and went to another place to tell the second part of the story. And then I moved again to tell the last part of the story. What it was to make it more interesting, and so that you guys will be able to concentrate longer and stay longer for more of the video. So that's another way you can make your videos more interesting. And now let's continue. And number 4. What you can do is you can add transitions, be it in camera transitions like the one I just did. We can add be over here, you can put that's in camera transitions. I mean, that's an example of in camera transitions. I use the zoom transition that I found a tutorial to use, and it just helps make your videos look more interesting. It adds more depth to your videos. Like for example, it was the last video I used my phone, and to get from where I was to where I was going, I used the phone and transitioned through the phone through like a zoom transition and a masking, and I ended up where I had to be, but it looked pretty cool where it zoomed through the phone and you could see where I ended up being at, and I thought it worked really well. And I've done a few different things there. I unrolled a piece of paper and I went to where we were going, and the Inverness one, and stuff like that. Like all these kind of transitions are very helpful for getting you from point A to point B, or sometimes it can be helpful to make your videos look more interesting and even break it up so it's easier for people to concentrate on the video. And is to know what you're going to talk about. For today, I've structured it in a way that I have points to know what I'm going to talk about. Here's some of the points I wrote down for this video. I even have, see the ND filter video, that is the script for it, or that's the notes for that video. It can be very helpful to use that so you know what you're talking about. If you basically with this one, because I've structured it the way I have, it means that I can add points and then I know what I'm going to talk about. Like, it doesn't mean your videos should need to be scripted, which can be helpful for a video like this, but when you're doing like vlogs and stuff like that, you want to make it more natural. But if you have a subject for your vlog, like for mine, my last vlog was what happened in London, so the story of London. So that was what I was talking about in that video. That was my theme for that video. So you need to have a theme for each video here, so you know what you're going to talk about, and you aren't just making it really dull and boring and keep your audience captivated, because the more you get your audience invested in what you're doing, the more they're going to stay and watch the whole video. And if you lose their interest, it's because you're not knowing what you're going to talk about. So if you don't know what you're going to talk about, then your audience doesn't know what you're going to talk about. You can try and explain yourself and you might get it, but your audience might not. So you've got to make sure you're clear and you know what you're talking about before you record your videos. And last of all, for your videos, you need to have a story. Storytelling and having a story in general is very, very useful for a video. When I say storytelling, I don't mean you need to have tons of characters, you need to have sort of dramatic this and dramatic that. Your story for your video, even if it being a vlog or anything, could literally be, as for example, in the me walking up the hills, the Oakville Hills video. Essentially, the story of that was, my plan was to go from the bottom of the hill to the top of the hill, and I brought you guys along with me. So to structure that in a way that it was more thingy for storytelling, is I split it up into 3 parts. I had the start. The challenge was to get up the top of the hill. So that was the plan. The beginning was the start of the hill. The end was being at the top of the hill and seeing the view and stuff. But the part in the middle, for the second part of that kind of story, of the 3-part story, would be getting to the point where we were struggling, and you could see that we were struggling, but we were pushing on to get up to the top of the hill. That's an example of the story. You want your audience to feel like by the end of it they've been told a story, or they've invested in a story, and you can keep your audience watching. But if you enjoyed this video and you feel like you've took something away, leave a like down below. If you guys want to know when my videos come out first, click that notification bell next to the subscribe button. If you want to help me reach my goal of 500 subscribers by the end of the year, hashtag drive to 500, and consider subscribing so it can help me reach my goal, and also if you like my content. But you guys are awesome, and peace.